Hi everyone, I'm Marissa McClure-Sweeney. It's nap time at our house, so I'm going to attempt to make a quick introduction to the video I'll share today. I'm here where the magic happens. This is our shared art studio space, so after I give the quick introduction, I'll videotape some of the space, and it's just how the kids have left it. I am one of the co-founders of the Scribble Squad, along with my husband and partner, Bob Sweeney. We founded it on January 1st, 2017 as a secret Facebook group. Bob and I make a resolution every year that we've been married 7 years now to make more art, but that year we expanded our resolution to include making more art with our 1-year-old son, Robert. He's now 3.5, and we also have a 1.5-year-old daughter, Stella, and we are expecting a new member of the Scribble Squad this Christmas Day, which is actually the reason why we're not able to travel to Vancouver this summer. So we really miss everyone, but we're looking forward to inviting them into that space when they arrive too. So my reason for creating the Scribble Squad, as a teacher and researcher, I've been working with young children for about 15 years. As it happened, my very first year in a new academic position was also my first year not directly working with young children. That was also the year our son Robert was born, 2015. Like many new parents, I felt not only isolated at home, but also at work, and especially from a research area that had been so meaningful to me. I knew that 2 of my closest friends in the field had sons around the time that I had Robert. Lillian, who you hear from today, and I actually shared a due date. And Shauna, who you also hear from, had Aiko about 5 weeks later. So I thought that they'd be up for collaborating with their sons and with us in some way. So we launched the squad, and I invited Lillian and Shauna and a number of other art educators who either had very young children or who were interested in very young children's art to the squad, also in an effort to feel less isolated as a new mom in a new town. Anyone who's ever moved to a new town in their 30s knows that it's hard to meet people. So in an effort to do that, I also invited a few local moms I'd met in birth classes and in our moms groups. The premise was simple. We'd each commit to making art with our young children and to sharing the work with one another. During that first year, a few members left and others joined, invited by other members. So it's really a mix of parents, grandparents, other family members and caregivers, and art educators. Those original infant scribblers are now preschoolers, and new scribblers have been born. Based on the relationships that we saw documented, our 2018 theme was collaboration, with an emphasis on intergenerational collaboration, and our 2019 theme is interaction, which can be between children, materials, and others. For me, there were 2 primary outcomes from the Scribble Squad. The first was my launching of Squad Art Studio, an in-person version of the squad with several of the moms and families who are local to me. The second, which I'll share today, was a portrait of my children, their art making, and my family that spans more than 2 years, and that includes my son's transition from infancy to early childhood and my daughter's birth and first year of life. So Squad Art Studio is an alternative Saturday school program we host in collaboration between the IUP Art Education Educator Preparation Program and a local gallery. We serve pre-service art educators and families with young children in our rural region. We serve as a research site for faculty and art ed grad students interested in working with digital technologies and new media. For both young children and pre-service art educators, our squad experiences emphasize negotiated curriculum, process-based art and media exploration, family-child intergenerational co-education, and the use of digital technologies as new media art. During our second pilot year, which is actually this year, we just had our first anniversary in May, we're launching a multi-platform online presence that provides visual art education enrichment resources for families, pre-service, and in-service educators. So now I'll share with you a little bit of the space where some of this art is made and maybe some of this art that is in progress, and then I'll play the video, which is loosely inspired by the really lo-fi cult classic Heidi's Horse, which you can also see on YouTube, by the artist Sylvia Fine, who did a narrative voiceover of her documentation of 16 years of her daughter Heidi's art, specifically her drawing of horses. So this is I'm actually going to see if I can turn the camera around so you can see a little bit better. So starting about here is the kids' art area. They have complete control over this area, everything in it. They maintain all the materials. Smocks on the floor. So there's an easel. They have an art table. This is a piece that Robert was working on yesterday afternoon in collaboration with Bob. So Bob did some of the printing on the bottom. It's actually a bubble wrap print, and Robert, he also did some of the drawing, and then Robert was using a roller and a brayer to work on top of it. Stella was working on this piece yesterday, which is basically just a canvas that she's been working and reworking for probably 5 or 6 months. They get to choose the tools that they want. This tool is really wonderful if you do have young kids. It's a marker airbrush, and they use it for almost everything. This little piece was made partially with the marker airbrush and then with quick sticks, paint sticks. These are also something that we really love on top of it. So they've got some of their tools. They were also working on this box yesterday, which is a box that we got that you are supposed to cut up and make into, like, snack box into something. So they took that challenge on, and Stella actually glued on all of these eyeballs and pom-poms. So in these drawers, we keep the other stuff that they can use. So clay is in here, pom-poms and eyeballs. There's some fabric in here. There is paper in here and mats, palettes and paint. And this drawer is just blank of the things to work on. And this is also a big stack of work that they keep in progress. So I would say that we, especially in the summer, this is actually a 3-season room. So we use this space every day at some point. They can choose when they want to come to this space and then work on whatever we want. Our studio is actually on the opposite side of the space.
Robert's toes and Stella's nose. 16 months. Today, Robert chose to draw sitting at a small table instead of the floor. He chose to draw with markers and to experiment with his hands too. Milk on table, marker on heater. On our morning walk today, we saw the longest game of hopscotch we've ever seen. Here is a recent series of photos Robert made while waiting in his car seat. Current Play-Doh strategy. We recently moved Robert's play table from his downstairs studio to our family room upstairs. It's so much fun to see how often he'll choose to draw for a bit with markers, work with his Play-Doh, and move back and forth with the other toys. Robert received this easel as a hand-me-down from his big sister. We've noticed Robert likes to check things out on the ground outside, but this was the first time I've noticed him picking this up and putting them somewhere else. Here's his little assemblage of rocks. An impromptu sensory exploration. Marker and crayon on hands, shirt, 20 months. The exploration continues. Photos we find on our phones. 2 years. Today was the first day of the semester, so we had some fun exploring some of the public art installed at our building. Photos Robert made of his pumpkin. This is the first year Robert was able to choose his Halloween costume. He chose tractor. He's been very interested in tractors. We have a new member of the Scribble Squad. Miss Stella K. Sweeney joined us on Monday, October 2nd. 2 years, 1 month. We did some pumpkin decorating yesterday with eyeballs and stickers. Some more surprises on our phones. Doctor's office drawing, puppy. The first time
2 years,
Robert
2 months.
articulated that he is making a face. 2 years, 4 months. This was an unintentional collaboration because I left my Sharpie out when I stepped away for a moment. Robert made these images, which he named in collaboration with our dear friend Vicky Groob. Stella, 5 months, made the digital drawing on her flight, her first scribbles. I wanted to share a few photos from this weekend and today. I did a little crayon session with Stella, 7 months, yesterday afternoon. This is her first digital drawing. Robert is captivated by bugs of all kinds. 2 years, 10 months. We visited the Children's Museum of Pittsburgh yesterday. Robert has been working these 2 canvas pieces for a few days and showing interest in writing his name. He was tracking deer prints in the wooded area behind our home. He's continued to make photographs of Mulan and the rainbow on his foot. He'll turn 3 soon and begin preschool in the fall. This is his school bag. Here is the electric hand that Robert invented. 3 years. He showed us how to make one while we waited for dinner last night.
See it?
This year Robert is going to be a dinosaur of some sort for Halloween. I really like the way that he mixed the colors and the very sharp teeth that he drew. 3 years, 3 months. This is the first time either of us can recall Robert initiating an art-making experience. Here's Robert's song about a rock that he found on the beach. I'm at home with Stella this morning and she expressed an interest in paint. 3 years, 4 months. Robert's first pre-writing drawings. Nice fresh snowfall, a snow maze, and some snow texture. Snowy days are great for making Play-Doh. This was the first time that Stella made marks in the dough. More surprises on my digital camera. We're wrangling the tigers that are popping up around here. Robert has discovered Pinterest. We spent a little time last night looking at car garages, and then he made one. We've had the snowiest weather lately. Robert made a track for his remote control vehicle, which Stella then used for her baby. 3 years, 5 months, and 17 months.